Okay, so my name is Morgan Gundrum, and today I'm going to be talking about the differences between All-Star Cheer and School Cheer, and why I left School Cheer and started All-Star Cheer. So I think one of the main differences between All-Star Cheer and School Cheer is that, like most people think of when they think of each, is All-Star Cheer is on spring floor, and School Cheer is on dead mat. And that is one of the biggest differences, I think, because tumbling on spring floor personally is a lot easier than tumbling on dead mat, because dead mat is just like a straight mat without anything under it. There's just a floor under it. Also, I think All-Star Cheer is a lot more fast-paced and more like, I don't know, just a lot more fast-paced than School Cheer. I think that School Cheer just goes a little bit slower, like their routines are a little bit slower. They are the same amount of time, but I think that they just end up being like a little bit slower with motions and stuff. Another big difference is School Cheer, they actually like do a cheer in their routine, and in All-Star they do not. They just do tumbling, stunting, dance, and jumps. And in School Cheer they do tumbling, stunting, jumps, dance, and cheer in the middle somewhere. And that was one of the reasons why I left School Cheers, because I hated actually having to cheer. It took out a lot of breath to do it in the middle of your routine when you're working so hard, and it just wasn't fun. I never liked yelling at people to do something, and I just didn't like it. Another thing that I think is a big difference for me personally in my own experiences, the coaches in All-Star Cheer are a lot nicer than the ones that I had when I was in School Cheer. My School Cheer coaches yelled a lot, and my All-Star coaches definitely do yell when we get really off topic or stuff, but I just feel like our other coaches yelled too much at us for things that we really didn't need to be yelled at for. But at the same time, they also let us get really unfocused and really off track of what we were supposed to be doing, and I also didn't like that. In All-Star, it's really, we have this to do and we're going to get this done today, and if we don't, you're going to stay late from practice. Our practices don't end until we have accomplished what we said we were going to. And most of the time, my team, we get everything done in the time that our practice is, because we try to work really hard, and it's just a lot easier to do that when you're really close with your team, and when you're just really focused on doing something and doing something right to get something out of it. So my All-Star team right now is trying to get a bid to the D2 Summit, which is one of the biggest cheer competitions for D2 gyms that you can go to. And we are working really hard at that. Last year, our senior level 4 team got a bid to the D2 Summit, but they did only compete one day due to one of the teammates had an injury during warm-ups, and they could not go on the next day because they didn't have enough people to. And my team is a senior level 3 team this year. Last year I was on a junior level 2 team. And my team is working really hard, and we're very determined to try to get a D2 Summit bid, which is in Orlando, Florida. And at our next competition that we're going to, which is in Minneapolis, Minnesota, we have the opportunity to get a bid, but we are going against a lot of really good teams that get very high scores and have very good technique and timing, and their stunts hit really well and really cleanly. So we have been working really hard for a very long time for this specific competition, since it is only our second competition, to try to do really well and get first place and try to get a summit bid to go. And if we don't, we do have other opportunities to get a summit bid, but it would just be a lot more convenient. I don't want to say convenient, but it would be a lot better and a lot less stressful if we got one at this competition, because then we know that we have one, we know that we're going, and we would have to try even more harder to keep up our personal expectations of us doing so well at that one competition to do even better at every other competition that we go to. Another big difference between the two is the uniforms. So the uniforms for School Cheer are made out of a very thick material, and you have a skirt, a shell, and a Leo, which goes under the top of it. And in All-Star, the uniforms are made out of a spandex kind of material, and depending on what gym you go to, it will vary what your uniforms look like and what, like how they look, if they're like half tops or full tops, or if they have the mesh in between the two. And at my gym, all of the teams have the same uniforms except for our prep teams. They have different uniforms since they are a prep team. And then all of our senior teams have half tops, and all of our junior teams have the half tops with the mesh under the half top. And I thought that I was going to be on the junior level 2 team this year, so I was kind of excited that we had mesh and we didn't have the full tops, because the full tops get really, really hot when you're performing, and the convention centers are always super hot because there's a lot of people in there. And the full tops do just make it a lot less hot in them while you're performing. And we also have, instead of a skirt for our bottoms, we have our day 1 uniforms are shorts, and our day 2 uniforms are a pair of like capri leggings, which everybody kind of thought that the capri leggings were going to be a lot more like hot than they were, and like just add a lot of heat while you're performing, but they really don't, because you don't really think about that much while you're competing. Another difference between the two is the hair and the makeup that you do. So I don't know like what all teams for school cheer do or what all teams for All-Star do, but what my team did for school cheer is we just had our hair up in a ponytail with a poof in the front, and we had no makeup. We weren't required to wear makeup except for red lipstick, which nobody liked because it always got out on uniforms and it was really hard to get out of it. And then what I know my school cheer team is doing this year, they are doing buns in their hair, and still they don't require any makeup except for the red lipstick. But on my All-Star team, our hair kind of changed within the past 2 years. So last year it was just a ponytail with really tight curls in it, and this year it is it's a high ponytail with a poof in the front, and our hair is teased to about right above our bow, and we have tailless bows, so it does make the poof look a lot bigger. And the hair, it just kind of adds a lot of like sparkle, or like a lot of, pizzazz, if I may say, to the uniform and the whole look. And the makeup that we have to do is we have to wear a lot of makeup, and I don't really like that, because not everybody's really, really good at makeup, and some people's look better than others, but they overall all look very good, because it's really not that difficult to do, but there is like a lot of makeup that you have to wear for it, and sometimes it gets in the way of your performance, because some people are really worried about whether or not it looks good, and sometimes that can be distracting during warm-ups, or maybe even while you're competing if somebody's really worried about their hair and makeup, which you shouldn't be, because it can give you a deduction if you try to fix your makeup or try to fix your hair during a routine. That can give you a lot of deductions. I also, for school cheer, I didn't really enjoy the whole school cheer thing as a whole. I just didn't like a lot about it. I didn't like how slow our routines were. I also really didn't like that we didn't travel that far. I think the furthest that we ever traveled in for our competition was probably only like half an hour away, and that wasn't even that far. In an All-Star, we have to go to like different states. I think only 2 of our competitions are in the state that we live in, and all the other ones are out of state. Like we have to go to Indiana and Illinois and Michigan and possibly even Florida if we do get a summit bid. There is a small possibility that I would go back to school cheer, and that would be next year, since I would be starting high school, and I may want to try out for my school's varsity team. And if I were to try out for their team and make it, I would not be able to do All-Star, because my school has a strict policy that you do school cheer and only school cheer, and you are not allowed to do POMs or All-Star cheer or any other cheerleading or dance sport along with it. You have to be strictly school cheer, and I don't know if I want to do that or not. I do miss my team as a whole, because I'm very close with those people since I do go to school with them every day. But at the same time, I also just really like All-Star a lot more. I like traveling, and I also think I'm a lot closer with the people on my all-star team than I ever was with the people on my school team. Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and like the video if you want to see more. Thank you. Bye.